So funny story, it turns out YouTube might not like Xbox. All right. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. So I mostly had to put this video together because there's no other way to reach people on the main channel at all. So I figured, well, we might as well go over what's happening exactly here, and I'll just post it up on the second channel and go over why there might not be Newswave for the next week, and at least on the main channel, and why there might not be a Spawncast on the main channel this weekend. Actually today I was going over some of the notes for Newswave, getting ready to start filming, recording, doing all these different things, right? And I get an email and it says that a video was pulled down due to a community strike. I was like, that's strange. I don't really know what that would be for. So I go and take a look, which we can actually go over here. This is the community guidelines strikes. And I have one of three right now. I had a warning at one point, and this is when I was trying to figure out how to just do like giveaways on the channel, which I haven't done in a while because I got a warning. And this was back in 2019 that I got this warning. And I was trying to come up with ways to make it so essentially a link doesn't necessarily expire. So if you come across a video, I don't know, like a year later or something, and you're like, oh, he's doing a giveaway, I'll check it. I thought about that and I said, well, what if I just did a URL that essentially will always go to the most current giveaway that's happening, even if you get to the video years later or something. So I come up with that, and YouTube didn't like it. They gave me a warning for it, and I was like, well, that's all for that, I guess. I'll kind of step away from trying to figure that out. So hey, maybe we'll do a giveaway at some point here, but that kind of spooked me a little bit because I'm like, well, it's not a huge deal right now. I'll kind of shelve that one. But you can see below it here, a strike on August 18th. And this is on a video from 2021. I had to double check. It's from April 20th, I believe, 2021. And you can see the link here. This is for when Sony like reversed course on the Vita and the PlayStation 3 store closures. And in there, this, by the way, is not even a link about either of the main lead stories. It's a link to Xbox.com. And that's the thing that's weird. It links to it here, right? It points it out. Spam, deceptive practices, and scams. And I did appeal it, so you can just go through and appeal any of these, because I believe these ones in particular are just done by the YouTube bot. I don't believe this is a manual strike of any kind, but it is a strike, which means if you go up here, one of three community guideline strikes, your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week, and they have a little countdown thing here. I have 7 days left on the main channel. Basically, I can't do anything because I thought, all right, here's what I can do. I'll go to the community tab and just put a written post up. Like I'll do the polls, right? And I was able to get the one poll up before this happened. I said, hey, I'll put a post up just to let people know what's going on. And I can't actually post there either. So basically, there is like zero way to communicate on YouTube right now with any of the subscribers to the main channel. That's why I went to Twitter, tag team YouTube and all of that, just to make them maybe a bit more aware of this, see if they can expedite it somewhat, which a lot of people have reached out to me attempting to get this sorted out at YouTube. So I do think this is going to be resolved before the Spawncast. And I also had another video set up for the weekend, like typical. I have a couple videos, so I was kind of working those out too. So I'd like to be able to post them over the next couple of days. But let's actually jump over that video, and I'll kind of go over everything there in terms of the link that was pulled down. So if you look here, I have the video up. Sony backtracks PS3, Nintendo goes after Switch hackers, all of that. April 20th, 2021. So like, what, 16 months ago or something? Anyway, we scroll down here. I have a bunch of links in the description, and the thing that it pulled from was the sources. You can see Xbox.com right there. There it is. Link hidden, learn more. You got a little strike, the little exclamation point all red, and it was for the story here, xCloud releases on iOS and web browsers. I like to put sources in the description, and there are many YouTubers who will do this, just so that the audience, if they want to read a bit more about it, maybe they wanted to just see it in writing and where the information is pulled from. Sure, it'd be transparent. put it all right there, and you can check it out for yourself if you want to go a bit further with the story. So this one right here, xbox.com/ENUSplay. That links to the xCloud website. Why? Because I was talking about it going to iOS and Android and all these different things. I mean, it was a big deal, right? It's like, oh, you can stream it on your phone now. Why don't I link people to the website where all this is happening? And for some reason, it pulled xbox.com/ENUSplay as being spam or deceptive. And that's one of the reasons I think it was just a bot. I don't believe anyone would manually go through, review a video from 16 months ago all of a sudden today and pick out specifically xbox.com as being spam or deceptive. I just feel like there was probably a bot that had, I don't know, a malfunction or an issue or something with their algorithm, and they decided to just kind of mark this, strike it, slap the channel down, whatever. So I'm thinking this will be resolved, hopefully in a timely fashion. And it was. It took like 4 or 5 hours after my initial tweet went out trying to get a hold of Team YouTube, because that's basically all I could think of now, and it's what most people do, is if something happens on their channel that damages to the point where you can't communicate with anyone on YouTube, like even through a community post. I couldn't even make that. You just go to Twitter and you, I guess, yell at Team YouTube. But a lot of people came together and they sent the tweet around. They quote tweeted it, that people were reaching out to me in the back end saying, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of this YouTube rep, hang tight. So shout out, thanks to everyone who was working to get a hold of Team YouTube. I think the error was so obvious, like the bot had a hiccup and saw xbox.com as malicious or phishing, that it struck the channel, that it was pretty quick to be like, oh yeah, once it was manually reviewed, to be like, yeah, that's probably an okay site. It is Microsoft. So the strike was rescinded and everything went back to normal for the channel. This is like last night. So I was still able to upload Newswave pretty late, I'd say, into the early morning, but got it done, got it out there. So things will be back to normal. Well, now, but also for next week for Newswave and the Spawncast tomorrow and all of this. It is concerning that a bot was able to just strike the channel, boom, right away. One strike knocks out all functionality just about of the channel, other than backlog videos that are still viewable, but can't communicate to anyone through community posts or upload videos, live streams, nothing. And it was very clearly an issue with the bot that I think YouTube is doing a lot of updating for all of the scam and phishing comments right now that are going around, that maybe xbox.com found its way in there. There was a combination of letters and symbols and numbers or something for the xCloud site that it didn't like or something. I'm just essentially trying to think of reasons for that happening. Also, I did post up a video on this channel, which is actually like the first half of this video you're watching now. And the reason I pulled it down, because some people were curious, like, why did it get ripped down? What happened? Did you get struck again? People in the comments are very quick to point out that this could be seen as ban evasion. Even though the main channel was not banned outright, it was struck and temporarily disabled. Could fall into that. It was close enough to where it was like borderline. And I was like, you know what? I feel like it's going to be resolved relatively quickly, maybe a day or two at the most. So it's probably worth just kind of sitting tight and not pushing things. And eventually I'll be able to put a video just doing an update and explaining what happened exactly here. But everything got resolved. We're good to go. Like I said, thank you to everyone who helped out and made this happen quickly. Like, got the strike removed pretty quick. So back on for Newswave and the Spawncast. We'll be back for that tomorrow, and I have some fun videos over the weekend ready to go, along with one really going over some of the events coming up, because it looks like gaming is going to start picking up here pretty quickly. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.